Second hour of World Crisis Radio. Webster Tarpley here in Washington, D.C. And now, as has become traditional, we want to look into the fight to defend the U.S. Constitution, the real one, not the imaginary one that a lot of characters are talking about, but the real one that says you've got to be a natural-born citizen and you've got to be 35 years old. And for that, no better place to go than Philadelphia and our good friend Phil Berg, distinguished lawyer, Democratic Party official, candidate for senator and governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in years past. Welcome, Phil.
My pleasure. How are you today?
Fine, fine. So what's the news? Do we have anything?
Well, the news is, we're a little
report?
frustrated because the Third Circuit Court of Appeals knocked us out, said we didn't have standing, but we are proceeding. First off, our website is being updated. It's obamacrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com. I hope people will go there. We are going to appeal the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, which just affirmed the lower court saying I don't have standing. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, interesting, we asked them to take judicial notice of a matter that occurred in another federal court, and they would not. But that'll help us at the U.S. Supreme Court. We asked them to take judicial notice of the fact that a U.S. attorney and a representative from the U.S. Department of Justice, upon questioning by Judge Carter in federal court in California, responded that the case that they were looking at there had been filed on January 20th after Obama had been sworn in as president, and the judge got the attorneys for the Justice Department and Attorney General's office to confirm, actually to state on the record, that if the case had been filed before the election in November 8th, 2008, there would be standing. Well, as you were aware, I filed my lawsuit on August 21st, 2008, way before the November election. So according to the Justice Department and U.S. Attorney's Office, I have standing. So that's going to be, I think that's a major, major plus for us. And unfortunately, we have to just deal with it through the court system.
Excellent, Phil. What struck me again last week was this idea that you don't have to go all the way to victory in order to win. That is, as soon as you get discovery, as soon as you get access to what Obama calls his birth certificate, that's likely to blow up the case right then and there. So it's not an impossible threshold.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we're doing it. We're trying to get more and more people aware. I have a Facebook account under my name, Philip J. Berg, but that's loaded. I have 5,000 friends. We just opened a second one on Facebook. If people want to join, that way we can send them instant messages. The website and the Facebook are the same. I opened a Facebook under obamacrimes.com, so hopefully people can go there. And we still have the other case, which I think is substantial. We're waiting for a briefing schedule, and that's the False Claims Act case, or the QUITEM, where I state that it's Barack Obama is really not naturalized, not natural-born, not naturalized, but he's an illegal alien. Therefore, his term as a U.S. Senator was fraudulent. Therefore, all money that he received for salary and benefits should be returned to the U.S. Treasury, amount over $1 million. The judge knocked that out, but he's wrong. And what's interesting in that False Claims Act case, that the Supreme Court of the United States has already stated that in those type cases, the relator, the person bringing forth the action, in this case it's myself, Philip J. Berg, has standing. So on those cases, the standing is there already. So I feel confident that we're going to get something. It's going to take a little while. But meanwhile, I'm hoping that the public can really support us, get out there and spread the word. The more people get involved in here, I think we can make Obama produce, either show us that you're natural born, which I don't believe he can, or step out of office. And that's my goal, and I'm working hard on it. I'm sure you're aware that Dr. Reverend Manning just got a visit by the CIA. I'm in touch with him. We spoke together December the 8th, 2008, down at the National Press Club in Washington, and I'm hoping to hook up with him. If he gets arrested, I'm hoping I'll even go in as his attorney.
Can you give us some details on that, Phil, because I'm not aware of it?
What happened was the other night the CIA came to visit him, and because he put something supposedly on his website, and they implied he wanted to shoot the president. He said he didn't want to shoot the president, but they came to him to intimidate him, and he feels he's going to get arrested for bringing forth. He has told the Tea Party, which I'm glad he's doing because it's something I suggested before, that the Tea Party movement should get behind the birth certificate issue. And then whatever comment he made, and someone else was just visited this week by the CIA, so I expect them to come see me one of these days because I'm very outspoken. I think Obama is a fraud, a phony. I think it's the biggest hoax in the history of our country. I feel that Obama and Michelle Obama and Howard Dean and other officials of the Democratic National Committee, senior campaign officials of Obama, now senior administration officials, should all be subjected to the criminal justice system, tried, those convicted should go to jail. So, I'm not, I don't want anything that physically happened to Obama, but I think that his place in history will be out of office. Remember, Nixon was forced to resign, and the break-in was not that big deal, but what happened was they got after Nixon on the cover-up. Well, we have a massive cover-up because Obama hasn't been honest, and since January, he has spent over $1.6 million hiding behind his lawyers fighting these lawsuits on technical grounds, and I believe it's a part of the conspiracy. It's part of the cover-up, and I think on those grounds we can proceed against Obama, and I'm going to do everything in my power to see that justice is prevailed, but the first thing is, the most important is to get him out of office.
Phil, we had reports a couple of months ago from Canada, as I recall, about a special department or bureau in the White House that did just birth certificate issues. Remember, with Clinton, we had bimbo eruptions, and this time with Obama, we have birth certificate eruptions, and that's a big problem in terms of running a White House that way. Is there anything new on that?
No, what I heard is that there was a very, I spoke to the show where she was on, the gentleman and the woman from the Canadian, Canada Free Press. They said the story is absolutely true, but the person with the close information in Washington, D.C. has not come forth to say that they can release her or his name and the information. But I believe it's legit. This effort's being handled through the White House. I think it's a massive cover-up. And we're going to demand through our website, that's why we hope to get more and more people, we're going to demand the truth. We're going to demand that they show their information. And if they can't come forth with it, I think we're going to try to get pressure for Obama to resign.
One thing about Obama, I think we've had now the Gallup poll, which is all adults, not even likely voters or registered voters, but just adults. Obama's popularity has now fallen below 49% for the first time on the Gallup poll, which is probably the flagship of the polling world. So certainly there's going to be more receptivity to learning the truth, I would think.
Well, that's good. And as he's dropping in the polls, people are starting to question more and more things. And there's nothing more important to question than whether he is constitutionally eligible to be president. And we feel that he is not, and therefore I'm hoping people get on my bandwagon. I've been doing this now for over 15, 16 months. So I'm working hard on it, and I will continue to work hard on it.
And an important public service it is. Thank you very much, Phil. We want to wish you, I guess we have to wish you happy Thanksgiving at this point. And it's obamacrimes.com. Go there, get informed, make a contribution, and we'll see you next week. Are you going to be around on the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, I will.
Okay, wonderful. We'll see you then.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks to Phil Berg. Where we left off, though, on economics, right, the Depression continuing apace, 520,000, 25,000 new unemployment claims in this past week. And we've also got this interesting story having to do with the dollar, right? The normal crackpot, quackademic economists argue that a weak dollar will aid exports, but we'll see that that's not the whole story. Back in a minute.